Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Zodiac Bandit, and today we have some major spoilers for the Age of Umbra. So if you aren't caught up to episode 6 of the Age of Umbra, I recommend clicking off this video because we have major spoilers to the point where I'm probably just going to put the words, Age of Umbra is Ruthless across the top, and then put the words major spoiler, and that's my thumbnail. Simple as that. Major spoilers. There we go. Spoilers. Before we get started right into this video, I just want to come in here and give a small disclaimer. This is Zodiac from a couple days after recording what you're about to hear in a couple minutes here. Basically, I just wanted to say I get very heated with this discussion by myself. It was literally like 16, nearly 17 minutes of me just talking, riffing, one shot, nothing, like no editing, no cut. Everything that you're hearing from this point on is just 100% authentic, real reaction and real emotion after that episode. I literally recorded the recap and then immediately recorded the what you're going to hear next. It was just me being totally real about how I feel about the whole situation and being like still a little burned after episode 6, after the things that transpired in episode 6. So just keep that in mind as you're moving forward, because I do get angry, I do swear quite a bit, and there's a bit of frustration that's been building in me about Daggerheart and Age of Umbra a little bit that sort of spills out in this video. So I just want to say I love the Age of Umbra. So far it's been super fun. There was just a little bit of frustration that's been boiling over a certain thing, and that certain thing is like the catalyst of the entire conversation. So just wanted to put that out there in the world. I've enjoyed the series so far. The characters have all been fantastic. This one thing really irked me to the point where the next 17 minutes is going to be me bitching about it. So if you don't want to hear that, I recommend clicking off now. I don't hate Daggerheart. I just want to put that out there. I do not hate Daggerheart. I hate this one mechanic really bad. Anyway, I'll see you guys in a bit. So for 6 episodes of the Age of Umbra, all I've wanted to see was for them to, truly live up to the promise of anything at any moment in time could kill them, and, people could be ripped apart, people could die. It would be a very difficult challenge. It was supposed to be grimdark fantasy, Dark Souls-esque type of thing, right? For 6 episodes, this is what I wanted. And for each episode, it got progressively more and more dangerous, to the point where there was multiple times in a handful of episodes where people went down multiple times in a fight and they had to be picked up or just sort of left unconscious for later. And this happened a handful of times. It wasn't until episode 6 did things get real. Did this promise truly get lived up to? And it couldn't have happened in the worst way possible. Like, it was just the fact that it happened this way, to me, was brutal. I think it finally lived up to its promise. So for, those of you who want me to stop beating around the bush and actually talk about it, we have our first 2 deaths in the Age of Umbra. The first one coming from Adelia. Now, Adelia got the short end of the stick, in my opinion, because I thought this character was going to live the entire time, because I truly believe she was going to be protected by the party. I, am very upset, because Adelia is my favorite character from the Age of Umbra, and she's only there from episode 4 to 6. She's in 3 episodes, and she's in half of 2 of those episodes. So she's there for a total of 2 episodes, if we're doing some math here. This breaks my cold heart. I truly hate the fact that we're not going to be able to see much out of her story. Realistically, I was hoping someone else would die. If I'm being totally honest with you, I wanted someone else to die instead, in place of her. Literally, take anyone else from the story and I would have been happy. Adelia dying was soul crushing last night watching that episode. Soul crushing. It hurt me so bad. But I want to talk about the way it happened. So first of all, they were sort of running through the Ashcall quarter, which is like the learning quarter of the city of Amber Reach, or this massive city of Amber Reach. I guess you call it a super city with like all of its walls and shit like that. So it's a massive city, and this is like the learning quarter of the city itself. And they were running up through the stairways, and they were going to try to make their way to the Celius Athenium, which is like a safe haven in the Amber Reach, and it has a pyre. So they were making their way there, and they encountered this like creature with a cage on its arm and a chain on its other arm, and it was like it can like slam its cage arm onto you and it'll lock the cage and you'll be stuck in the cage. She got hit by that, and then August got hit by that, And then she got hit by the cage while August was in the cage, and she went down. She got hit twice. She was able to move, and then she got hit and died. Like, that was it. She got hit 2 fucking times in this fight and went down. Brutal shit. And they had just taken a rest. So I don't know if she, like, healed her HP or whatever, or if she, cleared armor slots or whatever, but she got smoked, like, instantly in this fight. And then the worst thing to ever happen happened. Laura, being apparently a self-proclaimed gambler, elected to do the risk it all death maneuver. I fucking hate the risk it all death maneuver. She rolled a 10 on her hope dice, and she rolled a 12 on her fear dice. So her fear was higher, which means she died. Adelia died in my opinion, the least satisfying way a character could fucking die. I've been very clear about my fucking hatred for this stupid death maneuver. I hate it so much. Death move, whatever the hell you want to call it. The risk it all thing, in my opinion, is not only does it not fit the themes of the Age of Umbra, it doesn't fit the themes of grim fantasy at all, in my opinion, of, the idea of survival comes first, or making sure other people survive, like just going unconscious, making yourself survive, and, help having others, like, hopefully pick you up, or in the other circumstance, going out in a blaze of glory, where you protect other people as you die. Those two things fit the Age of Umbra setting so well. Risk It All doesn't fit the Age of Umbra setting at all. It's just a Deus Ex Machina, and you fucking stand up, and you have healed X amount of hit points depending on how much your hope die rolled, or you die. It's super unsatisfying narratively. It makes no fucking sense in the setting. I just fucking hate this death maneuver. And of course, it just makes sense. Logically, this is a good one to go for, because not only do you have it's like a 50-50 chance effectively if you're going to fucking stand up or not, but it's not. It's actually better odds of standing, because if you roll a crit, no matter what the crit is, you fucking heal. You stand up, you heal, you're good. I despise this, right? The idea of rolling your duality dice, rolling higher on the hope dice, and then you stand up. I despise this horribly. Especially with the whole idea of crits, and crits, the way that crits work in, like, Daggerheart is, like, as long as your duality dice match each other's numbers, that's a crit. So, you get a Yahtzee, you crit, and you stand up fully healed. I fucking hate this idea. The idea that a character goes down, is covered in cuts, broken bones, and all that sort of shit. They roll their duality dice the second they go down, and then they just stand back up fully healed. Despise. I hate this idea. I think it's a terrible mechanic, just game-wise, and I think it's a terrible mechanic theme-wise. I think it's so stupid, especially when you compare it to the much better alternatives, right? Going unconscious, while it has its negatives, if your party wins and they're able to pick you up, like, you're good. You're just going to take a rest and you're going to be good, especially because 2 feet down the fucking road is the Celius Athenium. You would be alive still. Adelia would very well likely be alive still if Laura chose not to do the Risk It All thing, which is the point of Risk It All. You're risking it all. I think it's stupid. And then on top of that, Blaze of Glory. Blaze of Glory is much more, like, narratively satisfying for a character death than just rolling your dice. Oh, my fear dice was higher and now I'm dead. Right? And a good example comes from August literally doing a Blaze of Glory maneuver, making it so the party could fucking live. It was so much more narratively satisfying than just Adelia dying. Like, that is so nonsensical to just be like, okay, I could either, I'm likely going to die in this fight, or we're all going to die in this fight unless I do something. Or I could roll and stand back up, be fully healed, and, narratively be really boring about it. I fucking hate Risk It All. I think it's so stupid. So then, narratively speaking, like, if you look at all of these narratively, right? If you look at the consequences of going unconscious, you roll your duality dice, and if your fear is higher or something, you end up with a scar. So you lose a permanent hope slot, but you deal extra damage. Narratively speaking, that makes a lot of sense. You're losing hope, So you're now putting more effort into fighting and surviving. That makes so much sense. And I believe this is what happened to Ghost Hook. I think Ghost Hook has been a person who's been beaten down so often in the Age of Umbra that he has very little hope left, to the point where he's just, I'm just going to crash out and kill you every time I come across you. I think that makes sense narratively for the Age of Umbra. And then Blaze of Glory, like I mentioned, makes way more sense narratively from the purpose of, I'm going to die. There's no reason everyone else has to die too. I'm going to give them a chance to survive. I'm going to crack down right now, put everything I have into my last attack, and then die. I'm going to make sure everyone else has a chance before I go out. I think that is so much more narratively satisfying for a character than just, my roll went bad and I'm dead. Because that's the whole point of this game, right? This game of Daggerheart is supposed to be narratively driven. So when you do something like this that isn't narratively driven, I think that's bullshit. I think that's stupid. And you know what? There's even another more satisfying element to the going unconscious choice. If you go unconscious, there is still a choice for the other players not to pick you up. If you go unconscious and the players can't find a moment to pick you up, you can still die. They can leave you behind and you will be eaten by whatever's killing you. And you'll likely become an Umbra creature, right? So that is still a narrative possibility of all of these things, right? Those two narrative possibilities just make more sense. I don't even think this fucking risk it all thing works in most settings. Like even in D&D and Exandria, I don't feel like characters like Caleb, Beauregard, Veth, a character like Percy, maybe Percy, but he's kind of different. Character Grog. These characters don't have like a Deus Ex Machina thing because they don't have gods looking out for them. The whole point of a Deus Ex Machina is like some sort of like godly intervene, like God intervened for some reason. So like I just don't feel like it makes much sense without the idea of like a god sort of putting their hand on their back and like keeping you alive for an extra second. And I think it's stupid just in general from like a bad mechanic standpoint because you heal X amount based on your roll. I feel like if it was just a flat thing, like if your duality dice and your hope rolled higher, you should get like a flat, like you get to heal like X amount in this category or this category, as opposed to if I roll a 12 on my hope dice, guess what? I get 12 points to heal. That is so dumb and narratively stupid. The idea that you're able to just stand up probably even better off than you started the fight. Like Snyx, when they fought that fucking guy in the second episode, whose name I forget, Valk. When they fought Valk, he did not have full health going into that fight. He left that fight with more goddamn health than he went into it with. That is a bad mechanic. Okay? That is a bad mechanic. If you're not healing via magic, that is a fucking terrible mechanic. I can't stand this mechanic. It's just so unnarratively satisfying. Like, it's not narratively satisfying at all. I hate it. I think it's stupid. But the fucking highlight of this is now we have two dead characters and a third one who left because another character died. Now, we don't know if Screeve is going to come back and like be a part of the party anymore, or if he's going to try to kill Snyx for what he did to the zombie Adelia. So who knows? Maybe that's going to happen. I don't want to like make it sound like this is a horrible thing. Like the fact that characters are finally, getting killed off is a good thing. I think because that means it's living up to that promise that we've been given. We've now lost two characters, technically three, depending on how you want to look at it. So realistically, the characters dying, I don't have an issue with the characters dying. It's the way they died, or the way specifically Adelia died. I fucking despise this stupid ass death maneuver. I cannot stand it. If I were to ever run an Age of Umbra, like Daggerheart game, that death maneuver is not going to be an option. It is either you go unconscious or you Blaze of Glory. Those are your choices. I cannot stand this stupid risk-it-all maneuver. It ruined any possibility of us potentially seeing Adelia stuff. And it's so fucking frustrating because she is, in my opinion, the most interesting character out of the bunch. So for us to not have this possibility because that gambling option is too good not to pass up is so fucking infuriating to me. I am so mad about this stupid death maneuver being so good. Because what? Let's say she rolled that 10, but she rolled a 2 on the other one. She would have healed 10 hit points and 10 stress points, divided amongst the two. Like, she would have been able to basically clear herself of damage. That is fucking frustrating as a DM or a game master. And that's frustrating as another player because, a second ago, I just rolled my risk it all and I fucking died. I think that's bullshit. I cannot stand this stupid fucking thing. And I truly, truly think that everyone, like, I don't know. I'm just frustrated with this. I find this stupid death maneuver to be like the worst possible outcome for any sort of like narrative satisfaction. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, you're not supposed to be narratively satisfied by a character dying. I disagree. August dying was narratively satisfying. Molly Mock dying was narratively satisfying. FCG dying was narratively satisfying. We can have death in our tabletop RPG games and them still be narratively satisfying. This, for Adelia, was not it. And even if there's some payoff between Screeve and Snyx, Snyx didn't fucking kill Adelia. Adelia died from a random ass monster. Yes, that's the point of Age of Umbra. Random monsters can kill you. That's fine. But there isn't going to be narrative satisfying like payoff to the character anymore. And it seems like based on how the characters are talking now, they're going to try to skip the Cinnabar Quarter. They're going to try to skip the area that would have been most relevant to the two characters who aren't around anymore. August already got his shit. August went out in a blaze of glory having killed the Queen Mother and, has been helping Misty. Narratively speaking, August has fulfilled his purpose in the story. Adelia just got introduced. I wish Laura played this safer. But the risk it all maneuver is so good if you roll, like, just positively. Like, it's just so good. And the idea of critting, it's a 50% as they keep saying, but it's not. It leans closer to being, like, better to be rolling it because your likelihood of survival is very good. I mean, up to this point, everyone who's done it has survived. And that's 6 episodes worth of rolling risk it all. So, I don't know. It's frustrating. It's annoying. I hate this fucking maneuver, and it's now ruined a great character. It's taken this character away from this story, and it's just narratively not very fun, in my opinion, to have this stupid fucking maneuver. Outside of that, this game's been fantastic. This maneuver frustrates me to no fucking end, as you can clearly tell by my rage. Anyway, I feel like I've done a good number of making people angry with this because I've been talking about this for 16 minutes straight now about this. It's frustrating to me. I'm going to deeply miss Adelia, who was my favorite character, and there could have been some sort of better narrative satisfying factory to this, but oh well. Anyway, just needed to vent. Sometimes you need to rant and vent about stuff, and it's good to do that. It gets the emotions out that you need to get out. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys on Friday for the recap of episode 7. Hopefully no one risks it all, because I'm fucking sick of seeing it. So yeah, there you have it. My my very long, nearly 17-minute rant about the risking it all death save or death maneuver thing that happens in Daggerheart. I just want to make it clear one more time. I do not hate Daggerheart. I do not hate the Age of Umbra. I enjoy the game so far, and I've enjoyed this miniseries a lot. It's actually been rather refreshing and rather nice having episodes not be consistently 4 to 5 hours long. Like, each of these have been around 3.5, and it's been super nice and refreshing, and it's been super fun to watch them do the combats and stuff like that, because there's a structure to these episodes. It goes they do 20 to 30 minutes of something, they get into a combat, and then there's a bunch of lore, and I've loved every second of it. It's been a lot of fun. The only issue I have is with this, the death maneuver of risking it all. I think it is bad as a mechanic, as I explained earlier in the video. And I just feel like putting it out there one more time before I wrap up this video that I do not hate this game. And I do not hate Daggerheart or the miniseries that's going on currently. I simply hate that one mechanic. And I will not be using it in my games. When I do eventually run Daggerheart, it will be out because I think it's terrible. I think it could have been balanced a hell of a lot better than what it is. I feel like it should be a set amount you get back or something like that. But either way, I digress. Just wanted to put it out there one more time. I do not hate the game, the miniseries, the characters. It's all been fantastic. The story has been amazing. It could have been better if Adelia was still around, but that's just not where the story's going now, unfortunately. But we'll see. We shall see. I'm looking forward to what comes next, and I will see you guys on Friday for the recap of episode 7. And until then, peace.